Hey Roxie, Neville Appel here from Snowboard Addiction. How's it going? It's a video analysis of your backside board slides. I managed to figure out how to download your video on YouTube, so here we go. I'm going to quickly play them for you. At the moment, you've been trying through a backboard with your front foot, but you cannot make it. So is there any advice? And yes, I have some advice, so I'm going to give it to you. First thing, the biggest thing that I'm seeing go wrong with your backboards is actually your line of entry. And so I'm going to freeze frame it and show what's happening with your line of entry. So every time you're coming in, you're starting over here and you're kind of swooping. You're swooping a turn. Oh, I'm just trying to get this little pin working. You're swooping a turn in. Now, the actual way of how you want to approach any backside feature, this is a backside feature because you're doing a backside board slide, is you actually want to approach at an angle, a consistent angle of about, so if you draw it straight with the box and this angle, the difference there is about 15 degrees. So right now where you've got you freeze framed over here, you actually want to be coming in straight at it from that feature. Now what that does, that helps you to be able to get your momentum up and onto the feature. Okay, now the next part, so that's the biggest thing you have to work on, is your approach. The next part you have to work on is that every time you're doing your backside board slide right now, you're coming off, and you know this already, you're coming off to the side. Now there's a reason you're coming off to that side. The reason is, I'm just going to stand up to be able to show you it a little bit better, is that as you're doing the board slide, you're mostly doing it over both feet. So if you were to look at this right now, your hips are actually mostly in between the feet. Now, if you want to be sliding on the front foot, you actually have to move your hips. So move your board. So if you watch me right now, my upper body's in the middle of the screen. In fact, I'm gonna reposition the screen here just so you can see my lower body a little bit more. Try to get it in so you can see a bit of my lower body as well. As if you watch my upper body right now, I'm going to move my lower body. See that? But my upper body is still in the same spot. And now I'm back. So this is me over both feet, whereas this is me, for you goofy, over the front foot, and this would be me over the back foot. And I want you to notice how my upper body was still on top of the feature. So if you want to be sliding over the front foot, you actually have to keep your weight of your body on top of the rail and push your board out onto that front foot. So if I, on the freeze frame here, if I just move these green bits, this is the feature. Your body weight should be directly up on top of the feature. Now, because your body weight's over here, that's why you're falling off that side of the feature, okay? So for you to be able to get this feature to the end, you want to make sure that you have a slightly better line of approach coming in at a consistent angle. Try to avoid the turn. Try to go in straight. And then, as you're sliding the feature, the core mass of your body needs to be directly on top. Now, whether you want to be over 2 feet, 1 foot, back foot, front foot, that is all about where you push the board. So you can choose that. As you get better, you can choose what foot you want to be sliding on. But key feature, weight on top of the feature, will allow you to get to the end. If your weight is over this side, you're going to fall off that way. If your weight comes over this side, you're going to fall off to the far side. And it's actually not a bad strategy to fall off this far side. So don't be upset if you're coming from this angle and you fall off this side a few times. Don't be worried about that, because that's a good indicator that you're getting your weight up and on top of the feature enough. And then there's another aspect at that point that I can teach you. What happens is if you get your body weight up on top of that feature and you're going off the other side, then you can start angling the board a little bit to catch the momentum. So right now, your board is angled to catch the momentum, but your weight's not on top. So if you did that angle and then put your weight on top, you would slide to the end. But if you do this angle and don't have your weight on top, you'll fall off the side that you're falling off, which is what's happening. Okay. Now there's one other aspect I want to talk about, and that's counter rotation. So if I was to play your clip again, And you'll see, if you focus on your upper body, there you did counter rotation on that one, but sometimes you're almost coming off to fakie. And what I mean by that is that if you watch my upper body right now, if you don't do a lot with your upper body, you're probably going to come off to fakie to switch. If you want to gut in and then come back out goofy, you really need to have this what's called counter rotation. So if you watch my upper body now, counter rotation, back out. Counter rotation, back out. And what's happening is a twist between my upper body and lower body. That twist allows you to get into a board slide, change direction and get back out forwards. Now that's something that you can also work on. And how you can get that feeling is, I'm not sure if you have our jib board and balance bar or even the tramp board and balance bar, you can really feel that counter rotation a lot. And looking at your clips right now, that's another part that you could really work on, is that twisted movement, upper lower body twisting against each other, because you're not really good at that yet. This is video analysis, and I hope these couple of points have helped you. Thanks for submitting the video. I'm Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.